All right, so I'm going to start by saying, I'm not going to even plan what I'm going to say. All right, I am so very excited. I finally, first of all, got dressed for the occasion. I'm wearing a necklace for Natalie today. We
I
have,
love it.
we have a very special guest, Natalie MacNeil, Emmy award winning. I love to say that because I'm like, no, she like actually has an Emmy that she earned. It's not like fake. Um, Emmy award-winning media producer and founder of She Takes on the World, founder of the Conquer Club, and author of the Conquer Kit, which is soon to be released. Natalie MacNeil, she's an amazing gem of a human being. I'm so excited to have her here on the blog and to introduce her to you, maybe if you haven't met her yet. But even if you have met her, I just want to pick her brain a little bit on behalf of all of us. And just to get a little bit of insight, she has an amazing story that we're going to share, and we're just going to keep it super casual, super informal, and then we'll wrap up telling you about the Conquer Club for 2016 and what she's got in store. And that's that. So, hey, Natalie, thanks for being here.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. I adore you. It's just so good to see you and hear your voice and get to jam with your awesome people for a little bit. So thank you.
Yes, likewise. So Natalie and I hosted a workshop, a webinar for Conquer Club 2015 earlier. I think it was January. I think it was on your birthday, actually, whenever we did it.
I think so.
On your birthday. And so I'll tell you more about that, but we do still have the recording of that workshop if you want to sign up for it and check it out. But it was so funny to me because our backgrounds and how we got started in business were so different. It's like people might look at us and they see the red hair and we're the same age practically. We're 7 months older.
There we are.
And they might think, oh, like so similar, but it's just so different. Our stories of like how I just kind of fell right into it and then just kind of kept plugging along. And then you've been an entrepreneur for like a decade now. So I would love to start again, just for people who haven't heard your story yet, if you would just tell us about how you started as an entrepreneur and then kind of how that has led to the She Takes on the World empire and the Conquer Club as it stands now.
Yeah, I love that you say that, how our stories are very contrasted, but that's the beauty of entrepreneurship and all these people that we meet along the way. And, even in the Conquer Club, we hear from our members all the time, their stories and what drives them to start a business is so cool. So for me, my childhood dream was to be an entrepreneur, author, teacher, speaker, astronaut. That's what I would tell people. And I did carry that dream for quite a while, basically until middle school teachers advised me that this was like totally crazy and out of the question. They encouraged me to get a real job that I might enjoy doing. And then they hooked me up with a software program that helps students figure out what job they could potentially do based on their passions and this quiz that you filled out. And I was told that I should be a lawyer. And then the second option, actually, and this is a good one, the second option was that I should be a circus performer. So I have no idea where that even came from. And quite frankly, I think this kind of software should be like totally banned from school, because today I am an entrepreneur and an author and a teacher and a speaker. And I will eventually be an astronaut because I'm going to book a ticket into space with Virgin Galactic and Richard Branson.
She takes on the universe.
Yeah, she takes, and I do own that domain, by the way, for my trip into space. So, so if you fast forward to my university years when I was still thinking that I might become a lawyer, but my entrepreneurial soul kept sort of whispering to me that I was meant to carve my own path. And, long story short, through a series of really cool events and synchronicities, I was led back to entrepreneurship. I started a media business. That was about 10 years ago now. That led into a production company that I ran with a business partner for a few years. And things were really good. I won an Emmy. And then what happened was I was also traveling at the time building this business. And I was blogging about it on a little blog called She Takes on the World that ended up gaining so much momentum and getting featured in major media outlets. And I started getting booked for speaking appearances and publishers started contacting me. And it became really full on. And I knew I had to make the decision whether to stay just in production or whether to make this my full-time thing. And that's really what people know me for today. And we've started this flagship incubator for entrepreneurs called the Conquer Club that we've been running for a few years now. And all of that was born out of this bigger vision to serve the entrepreneurial community, and especially women entrepreneurs, through She Takes on the World. So that's sort of my background, my story. So I've kind of wanted to be an entrepreneur forever.
Yeah. It's funny that you say that, because I used to discount it and be like, no, I never really dreamt of it. But truly, when I think I have a blog post about it somewhere, it was like, I wanted to be like a news anchor, a TV host, a teacher, an author, and all of these things. And it's like, well, hey, yeah, when you start your own business, that really is like, you get to check all those boxes, and you get to realize like, you can do whatever you want to do, if you actually,
whatever.
But also, it's funny that you say that, and I want to make sure I make this point for those who may not actually watch the webinar that we did last year. And this just reminded me whenever you were talking about She Takes on the World, because I remember when I was just, like, I had the twinkle in my eye at the beginning of 2013 of, what if I started a business? What would it be? Maybe I could just encourage people, and blah, blah, blah. Like, I had no idea. It was just this foggy idea. And then I came across She Takes on the World, and I was like, oh, never mind, somebody's already doing that. I had the thought, I'm like, wait, okay, so we don't need to encourage people to like go for their dreams or whatever, because she's already doing it. She's doing it really well. And so and we're going to talk about like, mistakes people make, and especially like trip ups for new entrepreneurs and everything. But that just reminded me, like, I just specifically remembered having that thought, because I was just like, watching a whole bunch of YouTube videos and everything. And I remember seeing you and thinking, oh, okay, she's got that handled. No. And then there's also the other story that I went into you watching. If you go back, and I'll link to it, Natalie has this video about your F-off price, which is basically like your price that you're not going to negotiate lower on that. It's not just like a special deal for you kind of thing. And I watched it in the very beginning, twinkle in my eye stages, and these few words that I exchanged with Natalie in the comments, and we hadn't met yet because I was, again, just kind of stumbling into this big wide world of online business and everything. And I was doubting myself, and I didn't know how to really put myself out there and how to offer it. Should I do free sessions or not? And if you know me, you know that I did start with free sessions, and they were wildly successful. I had a 0% like no-show rate. I mean, people showed up even though they had no reason to show up. It was just my first free sessions. And it was all because of this conversation I had with Natalie in the comments below this video, which is so fun to look back on because it's still there. But one of the things that she said that I will never forget is she said, you are absolutely qualified, because I was doubting my qualifications to help people, even though I had thousands of hours teaching communication at the college level. I saw these other people that had certificates for random things, and I was like, wait, do I need a certificate? Hello, I have a master's degree with a 4.0 from DC. But I just needed this total internet stranger who obviously was going after her dreams to say, you're absolutely qualified. And that is what sparked me to finally put myself out there, do the free sessions and all that. So we'll link to that as well, because it's a little Nick in that history.
That makes me so happy. And I mean, what would the world be today without Mrs. Nikki Elledge Brown? I mean, you're such a joy and such a bright spark that I'm so happy that you stepped up and decided to share all of that, all of you, with the world, because I know your people love you. I love you. Everyone in the Conquer Club loves you as a mentor. Like, you are just phenomenal.
Well, thank you for responding to your comments. That's another point where it's like, I talk about engaging with people. Once you've attracted them, now you need to build that meaningful relationship. And Natalie took the time to reply to the comment on her website and offer that encouragement. And that truly just gave me the little, yeah, she's right. I am absolutely qualified to just try it and see. So that was a sidebar, but it's really important to our story. So I just wanted to make sure you know that. Okay, so we've got your story, and you have all this experience in different arenas that, again, most of us don't have, especially when we're just kind of starting out grassroots, bootstrappy kind of things. And so what I would love to know from your wealth of experience, I totally assumed you, and also Carrie Green, who's now a buddy of mine, founder of the Female Entrepreneur Association. I assumed y'all were at least a few years older than me, not because you look at it all, but just because you've accomplished so much and because you've been entrepreneurs for so long, that I just assumed that wisdom came with age, but it really has just been about experience. And so I would love to know, what are some of the top lessons learned in your entrepreneurial journey, you know, from the different types of businesses, and then also from working with hundreds and even thousands of entrepreneurs? What are some of those top lessons that you've learned along the way?
Yeah, I love this question. And, you know, there are so many lessons to share. And a lot of lessons from entrepreneurship get to be a little bit repetitive. So what I would love to share today is something that you may not have heard before. And one of the biggest lessons that I've learned over the last 10 years is to actually celebrate the ups and the downs. So the highs and the lows. And I celebrate those lows in my business, not because I want to have a pity party or dwell on negativity, but rather just accept what has happened and surrender it and then let it go, so that I don't have to wake up the next day still dwelling on it and still thinking about it instead of just moving forward. So Eckhart Tolle says, rather than being your thoughts and emotions, be the awareness behind them. And I think that when you honor the not so awesome moments, you are honoring and being the awareness rather than being your thoughts.
Right.
And I see too many entrepreneurs stall for so long when they get tripped up or something doesn't work out their way. And I would rather just go for a drink, book myself for a little spa treatment, say, okay, you know what? This didn't go according to plan, but that's okay because I'm going to get back up again tomorrow. And I find that this practice has also made the wins a lot sweeter for me when they do happen. And the other thing is, we hear a lot about needing to get rid of our fear. And yes, there is a fear that is so debilitating that it prevents you from moving forward. And that's something that sometimes people do need to work on a very deep level. But in other cases, it's just not wanting to get out of your comfort zone, because being comfortable is awesome, you know? So I also celebrate when I'm feeling the fear. And that's another thing that I've learned to do. And you celebrate the fear because it means that you're entering the right cave. So you are walking the right path. Joseph Campbell said, the cave you fear to enter holds the treasure that you seek. And I think when you celebrate the fear, that is really telling you that you are entering the right cave and you're honoring that. And then it's just a matter of treasure hunting once you're inside. Like, that's the fun stuff. The hard part is stepping into that cave.
Right.
So those are some of the more peculiar lessons that I've learned. And, you know, of course, celebrate the good stuff too. I didn't always do that. I mean, I won my Emmy and I didn't celebrate it because I was so focused on the next thing that I wanted to do. And now I really stop and pause and celebrate the wins. And I pause to reflect and honor when things aren't going my way too, because I do believe that there's always a higher plan at work. And sometimes we need to just surrender to that and trust it.
I love that. And I everyone I know, and myself included, could definitely take that advice. I mean, you hear it and you would think, oh, of course. So it is peculiar to think about celebrating the lows. But honestly, I think that's our default, is to spend more time on the lows. And whether you're celebrating or not, you're just dwelling on it or like letting it get you down. You spend more energy on that. And it is harder to actually stop. Like you said, stop and take pause and be like, holy moly, look what just happened. You know, like that's pretty crazy. And for me, with Jeremy just returning home from deployment, and I'm telling him like what has happened over here above sea level, you know, for the last several months. And I'm like, isn't that kind of crazy? When I actually say it out loud to him, I'm like, that is pretty crazy. Like, this just didn't exist 2 years ago. And then I created this course and now we've got almost 500 members in it. Like, it didn't even exist. That is a pretty big deal, you know? And so I think taking a conscious effort for both sides. And I also think that, just to highlight what you were saying about acknowledging the yucky stuff and then being able to let it go it reminds me of my friend Susan Ferraro, and she has this course called Easy Peasy LOA. And she talks about how what you resist persists, and you just have to let it go. Because if you're obsessing over this one thing, that one thing is totally what's dominating your energy and stinking up your entire day. So when I was thinking about we were going to maybe have to move to Guam all of a sudden, which I'm sure Guam is a great place, but Hawaii is as far and isolated as I would like to be from family. She's like, you've got to stop the resistance to Guam. You have to stop focusing on that and focus on what you want. And so if you have a low in your business or life in general, which is going to happen, then you just have to think about like, what's the lesson in there to learn? There's always something. Not to be Pollyanna. You have to feel the feels, absolutely. And, do what you need to do for 20 minutes. My Nani used to say, like, you could get 20 minutes. That's what you get, and then move on and figure out like how to use it. What's in it for you? There's always something in it for you. So I love that. Okay. So big lessons learned. Now, what I would love to talk about, because you work with, so the Conquer Club, and we'll talk about the Conquer Club more, and I'll leave them the link so they can go check out what I think is the most beautiful sales page that I have ever seen in my life. It's amazing with the videos and everything. I can't.
Thank you.
But before we get to that, I would love to, like, when you think about who is a perfect, dreamy Conquer Club member and like who you've created this year-long incubator for, what are the biggest things that you see them getting stuck on, because it's like you've got this experience, and always, hindsight's 20/20, and you're like, oh man, if I could just take that away from you so that you didn't have to go through that, I would love to do that. So what are some of those things for beginning entrepreneurs, or maybe not even they're just starting out, but like, we're always just, what's the next level? And so you could just kind of get stuck right there. And so what are the little triggers that you see that you could just be like, try this instead?
And it's funny, and I'm laughing that you mentioned like hindsight's 20/20. This is why I started the Conquer Club. This is the reason why I do everything that I do, because I've learned so much over 10 years. I've invested hundreds of thousands of dollars to get to where I am, to have a 7-figure business, to have that team, to be able to attract big book deals and big opportunities that help us expand even more and serve more people. And, that is why I do the Conquer Club, is because I want to take all of that and give it to other people so that they can fast track their success, and so that it doesn't have to take them as long or cost them as much money.
Right.
In terms of mistakes that I see people making, or just sort of spinning their wheels and not moving forward as fast as they could, I really think that a lot of entrepreneurs sabotage their own success because they know deep down that they are not ready for their success. They know that they don't have the systems in place. They don't have the foundation to actually support that success and to make their clients over the moon happy. And while it may not look like it always on the outside, I've actually held back on big growth over the last couple years, and I slowed it down very intentionally. And instead of investing in marketing and epic growth, I decided to instead invest very heavily in laying a solid foundation. And I think that's really important. And it's definitely an important part of my last few years, because that foundation includes systems for everything and a lot more automation so that I can focus on what really matters and what I really need to be doing. And systems are so scary, and they're also not the sexiest part of running a business for a lot of entrepreneurs. And this is a big reason why I created the Conquer Club as well, to be a year-long implementation incubator rather than a curriculum-based program. So we give our members very personalized support to actually implement this stuff. And we do try to make it fun as well. Mm-hmm. So because I actually took time to implement and systematize in my business, I have a solid enough foundation that can support me, and I can build skyscrapers on it now. And that's what I want to do moving forward, now that I know our systems are so strong. I know that foundation is so solid. And that's ultimately what I like to help our members with too. And then the other mistake that I see a lot of people making, so many entrepreneurs think that they have to do everything alone. And I posted this on Instagram this morning with a cute graphic. No empire builder ever said, I did this all by myself. It just doesn't happen. You need a community, you need mentors, you need people who have been there and done that before. And that is really the other incredible part of what we've built at the Conquer Club. And that's something that I hear all the time from people, is that they felt so alone before and also very misunderstood. And it just felt like they were walking that entrepreneurial path alone. And they weren't quite sure what to do next before jumping in and joining us. So I think you need those systems. You need to work on automation. You need to take all of this knowledge that you have, and knowledge from other programs too. You know, there are some great programs out there that can teach you so much, but you don't always have time to do. You don't have time for the doing, for all the implementation. And we can actually help you to implement everything. And I think that's what really sets us apart. And I think that's what most entrepreneurs are missing. That is like the magical missing piece that we help fill in so that you can achieve your greatness.
Yeah. And I've seen it. I've witnessed it. Because I remember when you first launched the Conquer Club, I was
a few years ago.
Yeah. We were in Connecticut. And I was like, oh, shoot, it's closing. And I really want to make sure I'm a founding member. So I have my founding member badge in the directory. I think Jeremy and Bryson were already sleeping. We were in a hotel room, I think, like en route from Connecticut. And Bryson and I were going to fly back to Texas from Boston. And I was like, I got to do it. I got to do it. Where's my card? And so, because it's just honestly, I was telling Natalie this before we started recording, everything she does, I know how much heart goes into it, but not just heart, because that's, I think, something we all have, and we're all like hustle mode slapping stuff together, you know, and you're talking about skyscrapers, and I'm thinking, yeah, I think I've built like some pretty good standard homes, but they're not really skyscrapers.
You've got a little skyscraper going on there.
Yes. And systems are huge for me, but I just trust you so much for the quality and just the effort that you put into everything. And then now that I've seen how this version of the Conquer Club works, because you changed it this year from what it was originally, I'm just in awe. And I was telling Natalie, I was like, I'm tired just looking at what y'all are doing, because you're doing so much to deliver. And truly, I mean, again, I've witnessed it. I've been in the group seeing what's been going on all year, and Kelly's in there, you know, answering people's questions with video responses. Like, it is such a beautifully supportive group for the people who are actually playing in it, you know, and taking part. And I do think that totally sets it apart from anything that I've seen, which is why I wanted to share it. And I have no hesitation recommending it to people, because I'm like, yeah, check it out. Because there's no time, there's no way I'm going to be putting that much effort into something anytime soon.
I'm glad you said that. Yeah. And I'm
curious.
And I think the other really important thing that I just want to sort of pull, the thread I want to pull from what you just said, is that, you know, we all have to start somewhere. And when I had this big dream for what I wanted the Conquer Club to be, that dream was more aligned with the vision that we have for the Conquer Club now and what we are delivering now. But I didn't have the resources. I couldn't hire a full-time in-house systems expert to help our members with implementation. I could not have this whole team at that time. So I did what I could with the resources that I had, and I started. And then every single year, I take everything, really everything. I mean, I pay myself a fairly nominal salary for the work that I do, and everything else gets reinvested back into what we've created here. Yeah. And you use what you have. And now I have a lot more. I can invest a lot more, but it wasn't like that a few years ago. So make those incremental improvements in your business, you know, get it started, get out there, and then you improve along the way. You figure things out along the way. And as long as you care and that heart piece is there, you will make the right decisions. You will invest what you need to invest to fully support your community. I believe that. If you have a business that you just pour your heart and soul into, then you're not doing it for a selfish reason, right? You're going to reinvest it all back in. So we had to start somewhere, and we just keep improving it along the way. And this year is like something I'm so proud of, because it is more what I was dreaming of.
Yes. So
4 years ago.
Set up, and then, like I said, then we'll send them the link so that they can see the really pretty, beautiful sales page. But in a nutshell, how would you describe, like, what's the Conquer Club 2016?
Yeah. So the Conquer Club 2016 is not a program. It is an implementation incubator. We open it annually. It runs for the entire year. Every single month, we have a call with one of our mentors. So the lovely Nikki Elledge Brown is one of our mentors on our team. We are so blessed to have her. You have 2 office hours with me every month. And I want to say these aren't just like office hours where somebody comes on the line and asks a question and I give them like a 20-second answer, and then, they go on their way. I actually open up websites. I do sales page reviews. I do website reviews. I look at people's products that they're creating. So the office hours with me are very in-depth, and I offer a lot of support there. And then you also have an implementation call every month with our community manager and in-house system strategist, Kelly. And the plus side of all of these calls versus having a curriculum program rather, is that we can work with our members on exactly what they need help with. So I think, Nikki, you know this from being in the community and being on the mentor team, we do go really, really deep on the support front. And some of our members have actually told us that the Conquer Club and our office hours and these calls that we do are actually more valuable than one-on-one coaching that they have invested in. And we are super proud of that, because we try to, and as we grow, I think this is another important point to mention, as we grow, we just include more support. So we just, expand the team and make sure that people can still get that level of support, even though it's a bigger community. We have hundreds of people joining us, but I also invest in making sure that everyone will still feel supported by having the right team in place. So that is what we are all about. Our 2016 year is going to be the best year yet. There are hundreds who are already inside the Conquer Club. And I'm just really, really excited to see how the whole community comes together for this year, because like I said, it's sort of part of that bigger vision that I had, that I've been working towards. Like I've dreamed this. I dreamed of having, I was telling you guys this in the group. So we also are giving members basically 6 weeks of bonus membership. So when you join for the whole 2016 year, you also get to come in for the rest of 2015 and participate in the Conquer Awards, which is going to be this like big production that I really did dream. I had a dream that I was on the Emmys stage, and I was going out to the microphone and looking out at the audience. And when I got up to the microphone, I said, I am so honored to be here this evening at the Conquer Awards. And I was like, whoa, that's a great idea. I woke up out of my sleep. I jotted down some notes. I emailed my team guys, we're doing the Conquer Awards this year. It's going to be so exciting. So we're always just looking for ways to be different and really shine a big spotlight on our members as well. And I've got a whole bunch more up my sleeve that I can't wait to bring to the world. This is where we're at now. And like I said, I'm thrilled that you're on our mentor team and such a big supporter of the Conquer Club. So thank you, Nikki. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you for creating it. I mean, it's really even just Conquer Camp. So again, it depends on whenever you're watching this video. Maybe you're watching this video in 2018, and
it's like the collection of Nick and Nat videos.
Yes, we'll just have our library of greatest hits. But no matter when you're watching this, there's just so much we can learn from just the fresh approach that you take, because it's very clear whenever you're doing something, even if it looks like, okay, well, you know that this Conquer Club 2014 was like just the baby version of what you really wanted to create, and that it's still not even the fully evolved version that you want. But to everyone else, it's like, oh my gosh. And so there's definitely something for all of us to learn from that, which, you know, I say all the time, it doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be shared. You've got to get something out there and then get feedback on it, see what works, see what doesn't work. But I also just love how much it's like, these are your dreams. Like when people say turning your dreams into reality and blah, 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 it's kind of like, whoa, you know, everybody says that, but you're literally doing that. I just love that you're doing that and that you're modeling it and that you're sharing it. And it's like, yeah, if you have a fun idea, but you've never heard of anyone doing something like that, so what? Do it anyway. Like, this is life. You get to be creative. You get to do things however you want to do them. It's your business, and you just get this one spin around. So you can make it fun, whatever is fun for you and is working for other people and serving people however you want to serve. And again, I wouldn't be sharing this if I didn't believe in it. Like, I know that it's the value is there. I've never seen another, again, it's not necessarily a program, but basically a setup in a community that offers such in-depth support for people. It's just, again, makes me tired. I can't imagine I'm going to be doing it anytime. So that's why I'm like, please, let me keep sending people your way. And with Mary and her members club, I'm like, I love what you're doing there. Let me keep sending people your way, because I just believe in both of you. I believe in what you're doing, and I'm honored to be able to share it. And so with that said, below this video, my plan for today, if I can stay conscious and awake, I was telling Natalie I've been taking a lot of power naps here in the third trimester, is to link up a place where you can sign up to watch our workshop from last year, which I think was something called 5 Easy Ways to Guarantee a Great Year. So just swap out 2015 with 2016 and you can have a great year that way too. So there's more content there if you like listening to us chat about business and things. And then, of course, I'm going to put my link. I am a proud affiliate because I am a mentor, part of the party, part of the team for the Conquer Club. So my link for the Conquer Club, if you decide to join, is going to be NikkiElledgeBrown.com/conquer. And so if you sign up through my link, I'm happy to offer you a bonus of the one sentence workbook in our April call. I believe it'll be, we're going to talk about sharing your voice authentically, both in your copy and in your video, because that's definitely something that people have been asking me a lot about lately, not just in writing, but also in video. So we're going to be talking about that. The one sentence workbook will be a great supplement to that. And then also I would love to take anybody who joins through my link and just kind of catch up with you midway through the year and just check in and see how things are going. After you've had a chance to implement what we talk about in our training call in April, we can catch up on all that too. So again, depends on when you're watching this.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be really fun. The cart closes for Conquer Club 2016 Tuesday, November 10th, right?
That is correct. Yes.
So
9 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay. And so
New York time.
I'll send you another email reminder if you're on my email list, obviously, if that's how you're watching this video. I'll send you another reminder, Natalie. You can find us anywhere, theconquerclub.com. If you'd rather go straight to the source, that's cool too. But I think, well, if nothing else, seriously, you've got to go to this sales page. Yeah. It's just beautiful. There's videos and their trip and their inner circle and Tulum and everything. You have to go. You have to look. It's like a destination in itself. So,
I will add to that, because we've got a lot of emails from people just like, was that a software program? Or it's like, no, that was all custom. Oh, wow. Like, how do you even do that? How long did that take? And it takes quite a while, but we've been building on it for the last couple of years, right? Mm-hmm. So we built upon last year's version, and I have done, this goes with your amazing lesson that it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be shared. I have done 1,006 revisions to this page from last year and from this year. And many of those revisions have been done while the page has been live. Mm-hmm. So I am constantly tweaking and making sure it's clear for people and taking feedback from people as they ask certain questions and going in and we're tweaking it. So 1,006 revisions and counting. Doesn't have to be perfect. Get it out there, share it. It's a great lesson to take away from Nikki. And I have to tell you, there was one woman, Amanda, yesterday who jumped in and she was like, oh my God, this is so exciting because like you're actually here and like Nikki is here and like Maggie Patterson's here. Like, there's just all these people who are in here and saying hello to me. And I didn't expect that. And this is like the best day ever. It was really sweet. So she was quite excited to see you in there and some of our other mentors. It is a great community.
Yes, as Jeremy would tell you, it boggles his mind, but it's like, I'm on Facebook, but I'm working. This is work. But no, it's
Facebook
great.
is work. Yes.
Yes, it's really great. So I want y'all to go to NikkiElledgeBrown.com/conquer, and then I want you to scroll down and you'll see the lineup where you see the tabs of the months. Just check it out. I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited to go through it. Like, I'm committed. I was 2015. Obviously, there was a lot going on. But I'm really excited to dig in and like go along with everybody in 2016. Again, you just go where you can, when you can, because it's all year long. It's not like you can be behind or anything. But just check out the lineup of people, because I think it's so cool. And that's one of my favorite things, is that it's bringing in a whole bunch of different perspectives from people of all different backgrounds and specialties. And that is super valuable in itself. So be sure to check it out, NikkiElledgeBrown.com/conquer. Natalie, thank you so much for taking time to hang out with us in the middle of the whole,
Thank you, Nikki.
Even systems well organized and all that, it's still crazy to go through launch when it's your big baby of the year. So thank you so much, y'all. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, check out the link to the Conquer Club. And then also, like I said, I'll put that workshop, and Natalie offered a bonus meditation for everybody who signed up for that. So I'll put that in there somehow. That's
so exciting. And thank you for such a generous bonus too. That is amazing. It's very, very generous.
Yes,
so
it'll be
thank
really
you
fun
for your support and being involved. We love you. We love that you're a founding member of the Conquer Club too. And I could just talk to you all day long. Could talk to you all day. And thank you so much to everyone who was here today and watched our interview. It really means a lot to me. I love talking to people like this. So thank you all for being here as well.
All right, y'all. Happy 2016. Almost.
Yes.
If you're thinking about launching a product, program, or service into the world, and to be honest, you're thinking about it a little too much, this one's for you.